Tonight we're going to be talking about the submarine that went missing near the Titanic. Let's talk about it. Alright, so this video is going to be a little less funny than my previous videos, only because I feel like it's a little distasteful to be loading a video up full of jokes whenever we're talking about 5 men who are alone in the dark, freezing to death, running out of air. Not a joking scenario. So I'm not a psychopath, therefore I'm not going to do it. So as everybody knows, literally, if you've watched the news for 5 minutes in the past 72 hours, you've definitely heard about this submersible that went out to go see the Titanic, carrying the driver, 3 passengers, and the creator of the group. So they went there to go see the Titanic. They started going down, and about an hour and a half in, the surface lost contact with their submersible / submarine. The difference, by the way, is a submarine goes to the ports. Submersibles are docked out by boats in the ocean. So there you go. So an hour and a half, they lost contact. Then the people at the surface waited until the return window closed. Because they had a window of a few hours in which they expected the submarine to return. After those few hours went by and there was no sign of them, that's when they contacted the proper people and the search began. Well, yesterday, at the time of recording this video, they heard knocking in intervals of 30 minutes. The news went wild with that. Oh, there's knocking down there. It's got to be them. It's got to be them. There's no proving that it's them. I mean, it could be, but they have no idea. The actual military stated that we just heard a knocking sound. Sounded like metal knocking, possibly. And then the news story went crazy. But before that happened, the news did something that, of course they would. There was a billionaire on there, and just for respect, I'm not going to use anyone's names because you've already heard them or you haven't. But just out of respect for the families, there was a billionaire on there, and news agencies picked that up on day one. Oh, this submarine went down by the Titanic, and there was 5 passengers, including blah blah blah, the billionaire, blah 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 blah, and others. God, can you imagine paying $250,000 for a seat and being referred to as the others? Like, that right there just shows the value that we put on people based off of their net worth and not what they do in society. God, even at uber elite status level, they still separate value of worth based off of society. It's nuts. Like, I would turn on the news and it would be about the billionaire and the others. So I kind of was like, God, if that doesn't prove that people's worth is based off of their net worth, then I don't know what does. And that's an argument for another day, but that's why they say people in poverty are actually worth less from a societal perspective, because their net worth is less. And it's messed up that people judge people based off of income, but as a society, this is just another example of how it's true. You only care about the person who is the billionaire, even though there was multimillionaires on there. We didn't hear about them until hours later. You know what I mean? Until they were named hours later. It was all about the billionaire. And then something crazy happened. Once they announced that there was a billionaire on there, and once they announced that how much the seats cost to go on there, which is like $250,000 US to $300,000 US, man, that really brought out a level of hate in people. This whole incident has shown the best of humanity and the worst of humanity, in my personal opinion. Because, like I said, once they said that there was a billionaire and how much the seats costed, People were laughing and making fun of these people openly. TikTok videos just flooded. People going, ha ha ha, I'm glad that they're dying. They deserve death. What effing blah, 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 blah. You know, like, God, talk about othering other people. You know what I mean? Like, we talk, and us people who are in poverty, or the people who are in minority status, talk about how they don't like to be treated different. They don't like to be, you know, like wisingled out or all these other things. Yeah, but those are uncontrollable status as well. You know, why should we make fun of and why should we wish death upon people for having money? You know what I mean? That doesn't seem like oh, they're rich, therefore they must be bad. Why is that the case? You know, I want to know, oh, they're not giving the wealth back? I mean, how do you know what they're doing with their money? How do you know what they're spending their money on? You don't. You're making assumptions. And the amount of, like, heinous responses that were taking place on the internet were disgusting. I mean, yeah, $250,000. God, just to be able to drop to go on an 8-hour submarine ride? Like, that's a level of elite I could never even dream about. But you know what? It was their money. But man, if they would, could you just imagine having $250,000 just dropped in your lap? That's the kind of money that changes lives, okay? Let's be real. It changes lives forever. But so people were actually rooting on that these people wouldn't be found and that they were suffering and dying, and they hoped that they died, all because they have money. That just sounds like jealousy to me, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest. And you know what? I get it. You know, that they experience things in life that we can only daydream about. You know, and so it's a natural instinct to be jealous of people who are doing better. But I mean, you know, you should be happy with going as far as you have, because you've accomplished more than most people in the world. Especially if you're watching this video, that means you're probably in America, and that means you're probably better. That means you are better off than like almost everywhere else in the world. So don't ever take that for granted, you know. But anyways, back to the submergible or the submarine, depending on what you want to say. But if you say submarine, you're wrong. But so they heard the knocking in 30-minute intervals. The military never said it was them, but the news agency sure as hell did. And they would bring people on talking about all the different ways that they were going to die. Oh, they're going to freeze to death. Oh my God, they're going to they're going to run out of oxygen. They're going to suffocate. Oh, no. Before oxygen runs out, the CO2 levels are going to go up, and they're going to what about the ammonia from the piss that's gathering up in the bottom? Oh my God, like, dude, these are human beings trapped in a cold, like minivan-sized submergible at the bottom of the ocean. It's like 34 degrees on the inside of that thing approximately, and they are freezing to death in the dark in a tight, constrained area. Have some damn sympathy. We don't need 14,000, people on to tell us all the different ways they're going to die. I mean, and then they're sitting there talking about it with a smile on their face and a great attitude because they know it's pulling in views. And it shows the evil that's really in the news, like within all news agencies. They look for a tragic story and they get excited about other people's misfortune. How is that a good thing? Oh, we're just telling the story that other people don't want to. You know what? No, I mean, I'm glad that we know about this, but the way that you guys went about it is just kind of disgusting in my opinion. It's turned me off of watching mainstream news ever again. Why is a whole group of people sitting on a couch, like gleefully talking about all the ways that these poor men are going to die at the bottom of the ocean? Because I'm recording this before their oxygen has ran out. But by the time you see this, their oxygen will have ran out. Even if they locate these men, they have no way of getting them up. They don't. They have, if they're caught on something, they can move the thing they're caught on, but if it doesn't get up on its own, it's never getting back up. That's just the truth of the matter. We know more about the surface of Mars than we know about the bottom of our oceans. That's just the truth. More people have been to space than have been to the depths that these people are at right now. And there, as I'm speaking into this camera, these 5 men are huddled up in the dark where they have been for days. The air is starting to get thin, and they're just talking. And if I could just, I would love to know the conversations that they're having, because these are the type of conversations that they're having right now is the type of conversations we all need to be having. And it's the type of conversations that once you realize that you should have had, you know, they're sitting down there just talking about all the things that they loved out of life. And they're sitting down there thinking about all the things they wish they would have done, all the things that they wish they would have said, all the things that they wish they could have changed, all the things that if they could be here tomorrow that they would do differently. The only difference is we get to be here tomorrow and they don't. But we need to be having these types of conversations with ourselves, because why do we hold back? Because of fear. You know, we all hold back because of fear. At the end of the day, we're afraid of failure, we're afraid of change, and we're afraid of disappointment. And so most of us sit in our little boxes and just do the same routine day in and day out because it's safe. And a lot of people would rather feel safe and fail and never know than to have the feeling of unsureness and the unknown. But that's what makes us human, is the fact that we branch out into the unknown. And when you trust me when I tell you, those people down there are really wishing that they had the chance to be here tomorrow like the rest of us. And I know that their final moments is not going to be pleasant ones. I don't want to sit here and talk about all the ways they're going to die, because that's just disgusting. But I do want to talk about all the ways that we should learn from this. You know, we need to be able to learn and take knowledge and value out of this tragic situation. And what we can do is learn that none of us are promised tomorrow. I know we hear that all the time. It's a common phrase, but it's the truth. You know, it's the absolute truth. And it's going to turn from a mission to save these people to just a mission of pulling it up eventually, once they find a way to pull something up from that deep, if they ever even locate it. Because the jet streams down there and moving at such speeds, it could literally be dragging it along the bottom of the ocean to totally new parts of the ocean that we've never even been to before. So they may never even be recovered. That's just the truth of the matter. So, you know, don't let fear hold you back. Actually try to enjoy life and be grateful. I mean, being grateful is the greatest thing you can do in life. You know, I'm grateful for my life. I really am, because I may not have a lot, but I tell you what, I have a lot more than I thought I should have. And I'm very grateful for that. So the people in the submarine, it's been the big topic of the week, and honestly, after this week, I don't think I'm going to watch the mainstream news anymore. People are going to send me clips that I can use in videos, but I'm not going to go hunting anymore. And because it's just, all it is gratification of death. We're literally watching a death counter. It's a death clock. Oh, we've got 72 hours. We got 48 hours. We got 24 hours. We got 12. We got 11. We got 10. We got 10 hours left, guys. Oh my God, we got 5 hours until we run out of oxygen. It's looking pretty bleak, guys. What are we gonna do? Oh my God, we got 3 hours left, guys. Oh, if they find them now, maybe there's a chance. We got 1 hour left, guys. Maybe if they find them in the next 20 minutes, we can still, guys, we got 5 minutes left, guys. Maybe if we, oh guys, we got 30 seconds left, guys. It's literally been a death counter. You know, that's been disguised as hope just for clicks and just for views and just for entertainment. We literally all sit here and watch these 5 guys die in a horrific way. All because the news wanted the views. Is it our fault or is it the news' fault? Because we watched it. We did, so that encouraged them to make more content on it. But that's all there's really been on the news. Anyways, this has been Blind Justice. Subscribe, share out, hit that like button. Most of my videos are, you know, have at least a couple of jokes in them. But I couldn't do it when it's about people dying. I just couldn't do it. So I will see you guys on the next video. And love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, no one else will. And if no one said it today, I love you.